Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a quick little couple of videos here on the way home, or a video on the way home, maybe a second video, before I lose some daylight. If you're new here, thanks for joining. I'm in the van, I'm driving, I'm gonna pay attention to the road. But yeah, thanks for joining. My name is Amanda. I am a full-time student, pre-med, and that's where I'm coming from, campus. Today was genetics and my genetics lab. Sadly, I had to miss my genetics lecture class today. My youngest had an appointment that ran about 3 hours long, and it was out in Ohio. I myself live in PA, and yeah, I just didn't make that timing work out to get to lecture on time. But that's okay. He doesn't take attendance. It doesn't go against me, although it would have been good to have been there and been present for the lecture, right? But it doesn't go, I don't get like points off or anything like that. Today was my genetics lab. This one's gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to it. And I feel like I need to go backwards and relearn a few chapters or review a few chapters from Bio 2 to get me to where I think I'll be more comfortable for genetics, especially the lab. Yeah, wow. So that is definitely something I knew was going to be tough and not like just super easy peasy. But yeah, today it really hit me that I felt really kind of like lost. And this is our first time in lab in person. We were in lab last week during the snowstorm situation. But we did a Zoom lab essentially. And yeah, so we just, everyone picked a table. That's the table we're at. That's where we are. He didn't assign seats or anything. I have a good feeling we're all going to stay together in our little group. Some of us know each other. Other of us are new. And we're all kind of in the same, well, it's a genetics course. So, I mean, you're not going for like a music background, but, we have someone who is, I don't know, wants to be a veterinarian. We have another one that's pre-PA with the Healthcare Administration and Management Program, so she wants to be a PA. And then the other gal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she was interested in being a nurse practitioner. That is her goal. So we all kind of just, are on the same vibe. Obviously, I'm the oldest one at the table, but we connected and I'm at a red light. We connected and we have exchanged, contact information and all that good stuff. So we're just gonna go with it and roll with it from there. Our lab is broken up because he has 2 labs. No, I'm sorry. I think there are 3 labs. And it looked like a lot of people in that class. I really didn't do a head count or anything, but all the tables were full except for one, and I felt so bad. She was like a little straggler. She got seated with some, another group and whatnot, but because we did a group project, but genotypes and stuff like that. But yeah, our class for lecture is so large. We were in an auditorium. I think we're over 100 plus. So the individual lab, even though I don't sit with any of these girls at all, don't do it. Okay. That is a really big dump truck. Tonka, back in the day, I don't think you can see it no, you can't see it. Anyhow, like the Tonka trucks playing in the sand. Well, we got a lot of snow. Maybe it's clearing out snow, but it was like humongous. Like, we're talking it was one of those mega huge Tonka dump trucks. and the semi guy was pulling out. He had plenty of time. Anyways, off topic. So the lecture is so large, and I am not like, you know, sitting around any of these other people that are at my table, and that's fine. But we connected, so we'll kind of have our own little thing going on. We meet 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for lecture. I almost said lab. And then lab is every Monday. So this is week 3. It took me a second. So this is week 3. Yeah, 16 weeks. So 13 to go. Not bad. We'll get through it. We're gonna make it happen. One thing I did want to say is sitting at that table and talking to these ladies, one of them, we just got on the topic of chemistry, and one of them was discussing how, come to find out, we were in the same class and didn't really realize it for OChem 1 last semester. She's like, I dropped that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I dropped it too. And she's like, yeah, it was just so rough. And there was another girl that also had an OChem class, and she also she didn't drop it. She tried to go all the way as far as she could, and she withdrew from the class essentially. And I guess it was probably a blessing in disguise. As much as I didn't want to not take the class, it was probably a blessing in disguise, because come to find out, only like 9 people from the entire class stayed in it. 9 people. And I mean, granted, OChem is definitely not easy. So yeah, I thought that was wild. That was wild. And then she's like, so I'm taking it over this summer. Mind blown. So if you've been with me over the last couple of videos, I've kind of like talked about everything all at one video. You know, the weight loss school and all the things. One of my other videos, I mentioned how I kept hearing, I've been getting feedback that it's not going to be available in the summer, and this gives me hope. So now tomorrow, when I go into my capstone course, my writing and research capstone course, I am going to ask my professor if he can scooch me in for summer session OChem, and go from there, and hope and pray that he can, and also that I don't get the same professor for OChem, because I just really did not like that guy. He had a chip on his block, and you know, yeah. So with that said, let me just backtrack. So I'm not just going to this class and this is my professor and he can just slide me into chairs wherever. He's also my advisor. So that's another component to this. In fact, you know what? It reminds me, I have an assignment due that I haven't completed. I guess I'll go ahead and, I think I'll finish that tonight. Yeah, so there's hope. I'm excited. I can tell you right now that I know for a fact my hardest course this semester is definitely going to be genetics, backed by the capstone course. I really think that's going to be my second hardest. And then I'll just navigate the other component, the other 2 classes, and go from there. Over the weekend, I got a notification that I need to sign up for some sort of data something, and essentially it is like learning about of AI and management, operations management. So I gotta turn here. This guy's speeding up behind me, and this back road usually gets covered up with snow really quickly, and it is. Go figure. So these bumpy roads. So, yeah, I'm just gonna take it and go with it and see where I land and do the best that I can. That's all I can do. And I'm gonna put my focus. I'm just gonna put my focus on that. You know, that's what it's gonna be. I think that. Oh, was I saying? I think I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I screwed up. I was telling you about this AI course that was added on before I was paying attention to the road. But yeah, so it doesn't exactly have a due date, although it has a due date. Like it said due by the very last day of the semester, but there seems to be like a shit ton of stuff that is part of it. All these chapters, all these different sections, and so on and so forth. I finished like an entire chapter because I was kind of like nervous about it, and I was like, well, let me just make sure I'm staying on top of this. Am I supposed to do this over the weekend? He didn't give us any instructions, but it sent a certificate to my school account, and it said, congratulations, here's your certificate, blah blah blah, for completing this. So I'm like, okay, do I need to be mindful of like collecting a bunch of certificates to show that this has been completed? You hear that crunchy snow? Yeah, so that's that. We'll see where it goes from here, but man, this genetics is going to be tough, and that's okay because I want to learn genetics. I want to know about genetics. Genetics is at the forefront of why I am choosing to further my education and go into actual medicine and med school. I'm very interested in genetics. Having been a surrogate, I would really like to share the road there, buddy. I would really like to put a focus, if I can, on obstetrics and like do a fellowship and get involved in reproductive endocrinology. That is kind of like my end goal. That's where I really want to go. I'll have to talk about that more another time, but yeah, so I just wanted to give a little update. That's how the day went. Took a quiz today. I'm sorry, I may have said exam last night. I was really getting tired. But we had a quiz, and I am gonna say 9 out of 10. I was not confident about this quiz or my answers. I just wasn't. And I went through the material. I lectured myself, if you will, but so I got my work cut out for me. I'm not behind. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm like falling behind, but I definitely think I need to go back a little bit and reevaluate where I'm at for the sake of me moving forward, feeling like I'm in a good place. It's a lot. Biology is a lot. It really is. And you know, that would have been my route had I not decided to do healthcare administration and management. That would have been my route towards my bachelor's, going into applications for med school. But I just really felt that healthcare administration had something in addition, maybe a little bit more to offer as a, you know, to put on an application as a non-traditional student, and just the way, or just the direction and the way that medicine is going these days. So yeah, this little farmer guy is so sweet. He comes out and checks on his little cows. He's got like 12 of them maybe. Anyhow, sidetrack. That's that. That's what it is for class. Off to a great start on this marvelous Monday. I don't know, we left the house, it was like -2 degrees, and it was so sunny. It was really, really sunny, which was nice, but there's a little bit of a breeze to it, to the morning, and then we just, like, you know, had to keep moving, getting people where they need to be, and then I had to get ready and come out here to campus. I am on campus 5 days a week. I wish it wasn't the case, because 2 of my classes are online. But just between the 2 classes, my Monday, Wednesday, Friday is genetics, and the other class, my capstone class, just so happens to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there you go, 5 days a week. I had really hoped to take this online. It would have been great to take this course online, but it is what it is, and I am in it and making it happen. So I'm gonna hop off on here. We are headed back home, and it is snowing. It started snowing. So, all right, you guys, take care. Thanks for hopping on and, you know, tuning in and all the things. So I'm excited for what the future is gonna hold, even though I am very nervous, and it's just been like, you know, I don't know, wishy-washy, if you want to call it that, of feelings about just all the things that are going on in lifing right now. But all right, I hope you guys are staying warm and have a great rest of your evening, and I will catch you on the next video, which will be tomorrow. Or if you have subscribed and liked this video, you could hit the notification bell for more videos, and there might be one later on this evening. Additionally, in addition to this video, with me talking more specifically about just my health journey and my weight loss goals. So stay tuned for that. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye now. Peace.